In today's video, I'm going to tell you the truth about Doug Andrew and his retirement philosophy. For starters, let me start off by saying that I admire Doug Andrew. I think he's a pioneer in the financial services industry. He's done more to bring to light the benefits of the life insurance retirement plan than just about anyone on the planet. But the question becomes, what are the differences between his retirement planning approach and my own? I'd like to take a look at a segment of one of Doug's recent YouTube videos to see if we can tease out some of the differences between our two retirement approaches.
My recommendation to people who have their life savings in yet to be taxed IRAs and 401ks in the market, get it out of the market, strategically roll the money out. This isn't a roll over. So what is this? See, a rollover is like going from the frying pan into the fire, as far as I'm concerned. You're taking money in 401ks and rolling it over to IRAs, continuing to delay the inevitable, procrastinate paying tax, and then being duped into, at age 72, taking RMDs, required minimum distributions, thinking you're saving tax. Worst advice I've ever heard. I show people the darkness of the night if they keep doing that and how they're going to outlive their money and pay taxes forever, through their lifetime, their spouse's lifetime, and even their children who inherit those. Instead of doing that, I like to show them the brightness of the day or their future if they will get the money out. Now, people will say, what about a Roth? You mean convert to a Roth? I go, well, a Roth is a step in the right direction, but Roths only have two benefits. What are they? You fund a Roth with after-tax dollars, but your money accumulates tax-free in a Roth, and you can access it tax-free. The laser fund has those two benefits and has had those two benefits for over a century, long before Roths were introduced in 1997.
Okay, let's dig into what exactly Doug Andrew is saying here and how I might approach things a bit differently. In this segment, Doug is very clearly suggesting that if you have money and your IRAs and 401ks, that you face a massive threat that could upend your retirement plan. Here, Doug is referencing market risk. According to Doug, if you have your 401k and IRA assets in the stock market, you risk a market collapse where you could lose a sizable portion of your retirement assets, like many experienced in 2008. I interpret this to mean that Doug Andrew is anti-stock market investing. This is perhaps the first huge difference between Doug's retirement planning worldview and my own. I am most decidedly not anti-stock market investing. In fact, I have a huge portion of my own retirement savings in the stock market. This is because the stock market is the single greatest engine of wealth creation the world has ever seen. Could you risk having a few down years along the way? Certainly. But with no risk comes no reward. If you're worried about losing money in the stock market, take a look at the following chart. This shows that the stock market is essentially a permanent upward trend with occasional bear markets 2 to 3 times on average every decade. If what you're concerned about is volatility, then the next chart should convince you that a long-term position in the stock market is the very best way to minimize the effects of volatility in your portfolio. If you still have concerns about losing money in the stock market, take a look at this last chart. Note that the best one-year return in the S&P 500 is 47%, while the worst is negative 29%. Yet, when you look at a 20-year rolling investment horizon, then the worst-case scenario is positive 6%, while the best-case scenario is 17%. In other words, the longer you have to invest, the higher the likelihood that you won't lose money and you'll grow your assets over time. The second thing that Doug Andrew is suggesting in this video is that if you do have money in the stock market, then you should roll all of it out of the market and into what he calls a laser fund. Now, a laser fund is code for indexed universal life. I've been known to call IUL a life insurance retirement plan over the years. This just happens to be his particular euphemism that he likes to use. So here's the other huge point of departure between me and Doug Andrew. I get extremely nervous at the idea of moving your entire IRA or 401k into an indexed universal life policy. What this presupposes is that the IUL is the only financial instrument within which you should be growing your assets. If you've read my best-selling books or been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know my approach to retirement planning is fundamentally different. I think the IUL is a useful tool that does some things that no other tax-free retirement plans can do, but it works best as part of a balanced comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement. I believe you should have between 4 and 6 different streams of tax-free income, none of which show up on the IRS's radar, but all of which contribute to you being in the 0% tax bracket. Take, for example, your Roth 401k. This is one of the best tax-free retirement tools out there that does some things that the IUL simply can't do. For example, when you contribute to a Roth 401k, you get the potential for a company match. You can even direct that company match to the Roth 401k portion of your account if you so desire. If you put all your money into an IUL, conversely, you'll miss out on all that free money, the increased returns of the stock market, and increase the likelihood of running out of money before you run out of life. Next, there's the Roth IRA. I love the Roth IRA because it too can do some things the IUL simply can't do. It can give you immediate liquidity on 100% of your contributions. If you put $7,500 in this year, you could immediately take all that money back out without taxes or penalties. You don't have that luxury with the IUL because of its surrender charges. How about the Roth Conversion? I love the Roth Conversion because there is no limit on how much you can convert in a given year. Even Mitt Romney, who is rumored to have over $100 million in his IRA, could convert every last dollar of that IRA to a Roth IRA if he wanted to. You can't do that in an IUL because you're constrained by the amount of death benefit that the insurance company is willing to give you. That in turn determines how much you could contribute in a given year. Given this explanation, let's take a look at what my typical tax-free retirement strategy might look like. Roth IRA, Roth 401k, Roth Conversion, withdraw money tax-free from your IRA up to your standard deduction, Index Universal Life, and if you can keep your provisional income low enough, then your Social Security is likewise tax-free. And if you have tax-free, 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 and tax-free, what tax bracket does that put you in? 0%. And why is the 0% tax bracket so powerful? Because if tax rates double, as many experts are predicting, 2 times 0 is still 0. Now you may be asking, with all these other tax-free streams of income, why bother with the IUL at all? Because the IUL does 3 things that none of these other tax-free streams of income can do. First of all, it gives you a death benefit that doubles as long-term care. If somewhere down the road you can no longer perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living, you can find one doctor to write one letter to that effect, the insurance company will send you 25% of your death benefit every year for 4 years for the purpose of paying for it. And if you die peacefully in your sleep, never having needed long-term care, someone's still getting a death benefit, probably your kids or your grandkids. Secondly, the IUL serves as a great volatility shield in retirement. What does that mean? Well, according to the 4% rule, you can only withdraw 4% of your retirement balances in a given year, adjusted for inflation, if you want a reasonably high chance of having your retirement savings last through life expectancy. However, if instead of drawing money from your stock market accounts in the year following a down year in the market, you instead pay for your living expenses out of your Index Universal Life policy, you give your stock market assets a chance to recover before taking further distributions. By adopting this approach, it turns out you can now take sustainable withdrawals from your retirement assets as high as 8% per year. That doubles your retirement income and dramatically increases the likelihood that your retirement savings will last as long as you do. Lastly, the IUL gives you safe and productive returns and can function extremely well as a bond alternative. I've long said that if you can reach into your retirement portfolio, remove the bonds, and replace them with indexed universal life, you'll increase your returns, lower your risk, lower the standard deviation of your entire portfolio, and experience a better outcome over time. In short, if you think tax rates in the future are likely to be dramatically higher than they are today, you must adopt a strategy that takes advantages of every nook and cranny of the IRS tax code. Every tax-free retirement tool has a characteristic or attribute that sets it apart from all the rest. By incorporating a strategy that includes between 4 and 6 different streams of tax-free income, you dramatically increase the likelihood of shielding yourself from the impact of higher taxes and making sure that your retirement assets last as long as you do. In summary, here's the truth about Doug Andrew. He's a pioneer in this industry, and he's done more to expose the benefits of Index Universal Life than just about anyone else on the planet. However, respectfully, I prefer a retirement approach that views the IUL as merely one component and a balanced, comprehensive approach to to tax-free retirement. Folks, in the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 100,000 Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you'd like some help getting on the road to a tax-free retirement, be sure to check out my tax-free toolkit. You can download it for free at taxfreetoolkit.com. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Power Zero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free 3-part video series. By the way, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.